The world was once a very different place. Millions of years ago, long before humans walked the earth, the oceans held a different kind of ruler. Miocene, Pliocene, a time of immense geological change and evolutionary marvels. The seas were warmer, teeming with life great and small. But in this vibrant prehistoric world, a new power was emerging from the depths. It was a predator of unimaginable scale, a shadow that would come to dominate the food chain and inspire a sense of primal fear that echoes even to this day. This was the age of the Megalodon. It rose to power with astonishing speed. Not merely a large shark, but the apex predator, a true titan. Its presence altered the behavior of every ocean creature. Imagine a world where the surface offered no safety, where it concealed a massive hunter. Even the largest whales weren't safe. The Megalodon embodied raw, untamed power. It patrolled coastlines and prowled open oceans. This was its kingdom, and for millions of years its reign was undisputed. The story of our planet's oceans cannot be told without acknowledging this magnificent and terrifying giant. Fossilized teeth found on every continent except Antarctica. It was a perfectly honed killing machine, sculpted by millions of years to become the ultimate predator. They are tangible links to an ancient dynasty ruled by a shark of epic proportions. The sheer scale of the Megalodon is difficult for the modern mind to comprehend. This was not a shark in the way we think of them today. It was a creature of monstrous dimensions. Scientific estimates, based on the size of its fossilized teeth and vertebrae, suggest that an adult Megalodon could reach lengths of up to 18 meters, or 60 feet. That is 3 times the length of the largest great white shark ever recorded. Its weight could have exceeded 50 tons, equivalent to several adult elephants. Its gaping maw, wide enough to swallow a small car, was lined with rows of serrated teeth, each one a formidable weapon designed for a single purpose, to shear through flesh and bone with terrifying efficiency. Its power was simply immense. The bite force of the Megalodon is believed to be one of the most powerful of any animal that has ever lived. Estimates suggest it could clamp down with a force of up to 180,000 newtons. To put that into perspective, a great white shark's bite is powerful, but the Megalodon's was more than 10 times stronger. This incredible strength allowed it to hunt the largest prey the ancient oceans had to offer. A Megalodon didn't just bite its prey, it crushed it, shattering ribs and disabling its victims with a single catastrophic strike. The appearance of this behemoth would have been a truly awe-inspiring sight. While we can only speculate on its exact coloration, it was likely counter-shaded, a darker back and lighter belly. Its fins would have been enormous, propelling its massive body through the water with deceptive speed and agility. Unlike the sleek torpedo shape of a great white, the Megalodon was likely a more robust, stockier animal, built for power rather than pure speed. Its eyes, dark and unblinking, would have scanned the waters for any sign of movement, the senses of a predator honed to perfection over millennia of evolution. It was not just another large fish, it was a keystone species, a force of nature whose existence defined the very structure of life in the ancient seas. While direct human encounters with the Megalodon are impossible, its legacy has fueled countless stories and legends. The most compelling evidence of its ferocity comes not from folklore, but from the fossil record itself. Paleontologists have discovered the fossilized bones of ancient whales scarred with the unmistakable bite marks of a Megalodon. These are not mere scratches, they are deep gouges, evidence of violent and brutal attacks. Some fossils show healed bite marks, telling the harrowing story of a whale that was attacked and somehow managed to escape. One can easily imagine a dramatic encounter in the Pliocene seas. Suddenly, a colossal shadow detaches itself from the deep blue below. The Megalodon does not rush in blindly. It is a strategic hunter. It might first attack from below, ramming its prey with immense force to stun it, or targeting its flippers to immobilize it. A single devastating bite to the chest cavity would be enough to crush bone and vital organs. The ocean would turn red as the great shark claimed its prize, a chilling display of nature's brutal efficiency. Even in modern times, the legend of the Megalodon persists, blurring the lines between science and sea monster myth. For centuries, sailors have told tales of monstrous sharks far larger than any known species. Some cryptozoologists point to anecdotal evidence, such as unusually large bite marks on modern whales or fleeting, unverified sightings in the deepest parts of the ocean, like the Mariana Trench. These stories, though lacking scientific proof, speak to our deep-seated fascination and fear of the unexplored abyss. It represents the ultimate predator, a monster from the deep that embodies our fear of the unknown. The stories of its power, whether backed by fossil evidence or whispered by sailors, paint a picture of a creature so formidable that its memory continues to haunt us millions of years after its extinction. And we are fortunate to have missed its reign. For millions of years, the Megalodon was an unstoppable force, the undisputed ruler of the seas. But no reign lasts forever. Around 3.6 million years ago, this predator vanished from the fossil record. Its extinction wasn't sudden. It was a gradual decline driven by converging environmental forces. The world changed, and the Megalodon couldn't adapt. One major driver was climate cooling. The planet entered ice age cycles, sea levels dropped, and ocean temperatures fell. This devastated the Megalodon's world. As a warm water species, its habitat shrank. Cooling waters disrupted coastal nurseries. No safe environments, no warm habitats, no food-rich nurseries for pups to grow. Its ability to reproduce and sustain populations was compromised, generation after generation. At the same time, its food began to disappear. The giant whales it hunted were adapting. Many species went extinct, others migrated toward forming polar regions. Those polar waters were colder but rich in krill and other food. The Megalodon couldn't tolerate the cold and couldn't follow. It remained stranded in warming waters with less large, fatty prey to fuel its huge metabolism. It was a specialist hunter. When its prey vanished, it faced a critical energy deficit. The final blow may have been competition. As numbers fell, adaptable predators rose. Ancestors of the modern great white appeared, smaller but more versatile. They were faster, more agile, and ate a wider range of prey. New competitors, large predatory whales like Leviathan, the ancestors of the orca, all fought for remaining resources, putting even more pressure on the fading giant. The king was dying, and new princes were ready to take the throne. Let us indulge a chilling thought experiment. What if, against all scientific reason, the Megalodon was not truly extinct? What if a small, isolated population had survived, hidden away in the deepest, most unexplored trenches of our oceans, and was now, due to some environmental shift, returning to the surface? The consequences for our modern world would be nothing short of catastrophic. The immediate impact on marine ecosystems would be devastating. The reintroduction of such a creature would throw the entire oceanic food web into chaos. For humanity, the implications would be profound and, honestly, pretty terrifying. Global shipping, which relies on open and safe sea lanes, would face an unprecedented danger. Could a 60-foot shark capsize a fishing trawler? Or disable a yacht? The evidence of its power suggests it could. Beaches would close indefinitely. The multi-billion-dollar coastal tourism industry would collapse. Ultimately, the return of the Megalodon would serve as a humbling and horrifying lesson. It would force us to confront the reality that there are forces of nature far greater than ourselves. The question is not just how we would react, but how the planet itself would change with the reawakening of its ancient and most terrifying king.